Tonight, kids ask the tough questions, and we get the answers.
When is coronavirus going to end?
Keeping up with school remotely. We know it's not easy, and you probably miss your classmates, but we have some do's and don'ts that can help at home. Plus, one teenager's mission: the sky's the limit.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lester Holt, and I wanted to welcome you to the first Nightly News Kids Edition. I'm coming to you safely from my New York City apartment. I hope you and your families are safe at home right now, too. Look, we know these are scary times, and there's a lot to take in and understand. I'm a dad and a grandfather, so I'm going to tell you what I tell my kids, which is information is our most important weapon against this nasty virus. Think about it. The more we know about what it is, what it can do, and what it can't do, and how to protect ourselves, the less scary it becomes. But that said, I also know it's tough being at home, being away from your friends and having to do schoolwork in a whole different way. And we know you all have lots of questions, and we want to hear from you and help answer those questions with our experts. We also want to shine a spotlight on some of you kids who are going above and beyond, stories that will inspire you and hopefully make you smile and give you a short time out from your schoolwork. You are doing your schoolwork, right? Yeah, I thought so. But first, let's get to some of your questions. Dr. John Torres is NBC News medical correspondent, and he joins us now from his home. Dr. John, thanks for being with us. The first question we have is from New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Tess from New Jersey. Everyone keeps talking about flattening the curve. What is the curve?
That's a really good question, Dr. Torres.
And Tess, that's actually a fantastic question. And the curve is basically a drawing showing how many people have gotten sick because of coronavirus. So think of it, it looks like a hill. When first start out, not that many people are getting sick, so you're at the bottom of the hill. As more people get sick, they start climbing up to the top of the hill. That's the top of the curve. And then as less people get sick, we start coming down the backside of the curve. The hope is that instead of having a big mountain peak where a lot of people get sick all at once, we flatten that curve. It's more of a hill, so not that many people are getting sick all at the same time.
Yeah, and that's, of course, why a lot of us are staying home right now. Really important. Thank you. The next question is from a 10-year-old in Georgia.
Hello, my name is Ryan Aliatim. I live in Suwanee, Georgia, and my question today is, can coronavirus live in water, and if it can't, is it safe to go into a swimming pool?
Great question. Coronavirus doesn't last very well in water, and it doesn't last very long. So the water you drink, the water you might play in is going to be safe. As far as how safe swimming pools are, it depends on who else is there. If there's other people in the swimming pool, people you don't know or people that don't live in your house, you need to be very careful and stay away from them. But if it's a private pool or something, your own bathtub, then that should be safe because the water should be okay.
All right, the next question is from Sadie in Morristown, New Jersey.
Hi, my name is Sadie, and I'm from Morristown, New Jersey. When is coronavirus going to end?
I'm waiting for this answer, Dr. Torres.
And Sadie, that's the question we're all asking. When is it going to end? And what most experts think is going to happen is it's going to start slowing down over the next couple of weeks. And over the next couple of months, we're going to be able to do those things that we really love to do and we all miss doing, particularly going outside and maybe even being around other people. But that depends on all of us doing the things we know we need to do to stay safe. Social distancing, staying 6 feet away from other people, and washing your hands plenty times a day, 20 seconds at a time, and not touching your face. That's going to get us towards the end of this, but we all need to do it.
And our last question is from a 5th grader in North Carolina.
This is Lucas from Wilmington, North Carolina. Wouldn't it be safer if we closed the schools in North Carolina for the rest of the year?
And Lucas, it depends on where you live and what's going on in the schools. If you're in an area where there's a lot of coronavirus and a lot of people are getting sick, they might need to close them for a long time for the rest of the year. Other areas, other cities where not that many people are getting sick, they might be able to open them up sooner, but that means that they're going to have to make sure the schools are clean and they're safe for you. So when you go to school, rest assured they will be safe and it will be a good environment for you to go into, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Dr. John Torres, amen to that. Great advice. Thank you very much. Well, speaking of school, millions of American kids, as you well know, are at home across the country right now trying to tackle schoolwork online. NBC's Kate Snow is here now with an expert who has some tips that may come in handy for you.
If I'm a kid, how do I deal with this on the computer all day long virtual learning?
It can be really challenging, but there's a lot you can do as a kid who's learning from home. You need to take charge of your own schedule, right? That's the most important thing, because it's not about sitting in front of the computer all day long doing just one thing.
But then what if you get distracted?
Yeah, so the important thing about not getting distracted is to make sure that you set up a good workspace. And it can either be in a particular place in your house or your apartment, or it can be something that you move from place to place if you have to.
What about when parents are watching you all the time? Like your mom keeps coming over and looking over your shoulder.
I've recommended, hey, listen, set up a meeting time, like every day from 3 to 3:15 or whatever works for you and your family. Go ahead and update your parents on what you did in school today and what you still have to do. That way, they don't feel the need to hover over and kind of micromanage your learning.
Serious question, should you get out of your pajamas?
I think it's important to get out of your pajamas, to get ready for the day. That doesn't mean you have to do it when you would normally do it for school. Take a break after you do a few classes worth of work. Go get your shower, get your bath, get dressed, do all that. It is important to do that every day just so you stay in a routine. My hope is that when you go back to school, you've learned something about yourself as a learner, and you're able to use that to be a better student when you are back in school. So you can be showing your teacher different sides of yourself, different strengths than what they get to see day in and day out at school. So I'm hoping those teachers are paying attention to what you're really doing when you're home.
Kate Snow and Bob Cunningham, thank you. And I may take some of those suggestions myself while I am working from home. Finally, while many students are trying to make the most of their time at home, despite some challenges, one high school sophomore from Virginia is spending his spare time soaring to new heights to help those most in need. 16-year-old TJ Kim doesn't have a driver's license yet, but that's not stopping him from going the extra mile. The high school student is a pilot in training.
I talked with my dad about ways that we could use flying and community service together.
He calls his mission Operation SOS, Supplies Over Skies. With the help of his flight instructor, TJ is traveling across the state of Virginia to deliver thousands of masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, and other supplies his neighborhood has gathered to hospitals in need.
It takes a community to serve a community.
So far, they have delivered supplies to 3 hospitals and have a few more to check off the list.
You're never too young to think about how to serve others. As long as there's a need and I'm able to fly supplies, I'm going to do it.
With a kind heart, the sky's the limit. Well, that does it for our first NBC Nightly News Kids edition. We hope you found this informative, answered some of your questions, and made you smile. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, please take care of yourself and each other.